What's up, guys? This is Alexander King, and I'm extremely excited, guys. Today we're going to listen together to the brand new EP from Hozier. Now, I am a big Hozier fan. I really love what he does, both musically and lyrically. Like his lyrics are just out of this world. It's phenomenal what he manages to do, and also the way that he manages to mix a lot of different influences. You have the folk element, the pop element, the blues element. It's so good. Honestly, I'm a huge fan, and he doesn't release music that often. The quality is always outstanding, so I'm very curious to see and hopeful to see if this will continue down that line and in this trend. He is a huge influence also in my own music and the music that I've written and I try to create myself. One of the many influences, but he's for sure up there. A lot of respect for the guy, honestly. Like what he does, it's pretty unique, and it's not that common, and it's not that easy nowadays to come up with something unique. And I think that we can all agree on that. So we're gonna listen together to three songs, guys. They're called "Eat You're Young," which is also the name of the EP. All Things End and Through Me. Without further ado, guys, very curious. Let's start with "Eat You're Young." Let's go. I heard a snippet of this song. I think it was this beat they put on Instagram, I think.
I'm starving, darling.
Yeah.
Let me put my lips to something. Let me wrap my teeth around the world.
The melody already.
Darling, I wanna smell the dinner cooking. I wanna feel the edges start to burn. Honey, I wanna race you to the table.
Oh.
If you hesitate, the getting is gone. I won't lie. If there's something to be gained, there's money to be made. Whatever is still to come, get some. Pull up the ladder when the flood comes. Throwing a rope until the legs
Yeah, guys, already.
ways that you can eat your young. Come and get some. Scaring the children for a war done. Putting food on the table, selling bombs and guns. Squiggling easy when you eat your young.
There's almost something just show me like in this one. I also love how he uses space in the production. I'll tell you guys more about in the analysis, but it's brilliant.
You can't buy this fineness. Let me see the heat get to you. Let me watch the dressing start to peel. It's a kindness, highness.
I love the way that he uses the background vocals,
Old and young,
almost like a sample.
making sure the table's made. We can celebrate.
Those toms are so fat. I love it.
If there's something still to take, there is ground to break. Whatever's still to come, get some. Pull up the ladder when the flood comes. Throwing a rope until the legs have swung. 7 ways that you can eat your young. Come and get some. Scared of the children for a war done. Putting food on the table, selling bombs and guns. Squiggling easy.
Layered vocals with the octave, the lower octave in the background. Always work too. It's a very effective way of making a vocal line pop. Oh wow, this is beautiful. And it sounds like actual strings, not just a MIDI. It's the coda. Very interesting. I thought it was going to bring back the chorus, to be honest, but I prefer it like this. Guys, of course, if you're familiar with the channel, you know that I tend to analyze and get into details and talk for quite a while right after every song that we listen to. But for this, of course, it's 3 songs, so I'll just say just what stood out to me, and then I'll just share a few conclusive thoughts at the end of the whole EP. A lot of attention to detail in production, songwriting. As I said, like the double layer vocal for the chorus to make it pop. He has a fantastic high register voice, like a falsetto. It sounds so good, and it goes so well with the vibe that he creates and the way that he works with space. So his songs are always breathing somehow, and the way that he uses the background vocals, as I said, like to accent certain things almost as a sample. I was saying it was completely hard pan to the left, so you could just hear this it's almost like a beat, you know what I mean? It's like an accent, an extra accent that you can add on top. The lyrics, it's always hard for me to focus on the lyrics on a first listen, because I always like to listen to the actual melody of the song, so I cannot really judge them. As I said, it's his lyrics are one of the main reasons why I'm a huge fan of his work, and just the way that he articulates his thoughts, it's so beautiful, it's so poetic. So I will be definitely curious to go back and read through them and listen to the music while reading through them in a little bit more details. But guys, without further ado, let's jump to the second one. It's called All Things End. I wonder if there is going to be like a few more stripped down songs as well, because I love those type of songs that he does as well. Acoustic guitar, very sparse arrangements. Let's see. Hozier, All Things End.
A 2-ton weight around my chest feels like
RMB vibes right off the bat.
just dropped a 20-story height. If there was anyone to ever get through this life with their hearts still intact, they didn't do it right. The last time I felt your weight on my chest, you said we didn't get it right, but love, we did our best, and we will again. Moving on in time, taking over from everything that ends, and all things end, all that we intend.
Yeah, guys, this is much more R&B smooth. I love to have a drink for this.
Should not change our plans when we begin again. We begin again.
The space, again, guys, what I was saying before, listen to the space. How he manages to create
I have never
space in the song. It's amazing.
like the one falling here. Never watched my future darken in a single tear. I know we want this to go easy by being somebody's fault, but we've come long enough to know this isn't what we want, and that isn't always bad. When people say that something is forever,
I love also how it's not over processed, the vocals especially. You can still hear the small cracks, and which usually get edited out. The bass. Nice. I was wondering if the bass is an electric bass or an actual upright bass. Maybe a fretless bass. Ah, I love the choir though. Almost gospel now. Ah, nice.
Should not change our plans when we begin again.
That's very cool, guys. Very cool. I was not expecting something like this, to be honest. I don't want to say that his direction is moving a bit more towards pop in general, because he still manages to keep it very varied, his musical offering. So there are always those influences. Of course, if you take his first record, despite the fact that it had "Take Me to Church," which is one of the biggest songs I think of the century so far. Second record was more polished production-wise. It had some more pop influences, I think. Not in the sense that the songs were straight out pop songs, because it's not the case. At least I think that it's never been the case with Hozier, but it managed to infuse like all the different influences that we were talking about. So the folk, the blues, and the R&B. With the pop sensibility, making some slightly more streamlined songs. This so far though, of Eat Your Young, pretty simple song structure-wise and stuff like that. He still managed to change it around a bit with the coda, which was a bit unexpected and a bit out of the blue, and I absolutely loved it. This one, as I said even during the reaction, it's not that polished even, like the vocal production. Of course it's very well produced, don't get me wrong, but they left for example, a little bit of ambience noise, a little bit of cracks from the lips when you're close to the mic and you're recording a take. For example, I don't know if your mouth is dehydrated and this sort of stuff. It's things that, you know, as a producer or an audio engineer, whatever it is, you have to deal with, usually in post-production. If, for example, the quality of the microphone, maybe it's not the best, so there are some pops and some sort of noises that might interfere with the actual quality of the take and of the recording of the voice. So usually you edit those sounds, basically all of them out, but I love that they kept some of that in, because it makes the performance feel a bit more real. But to be honest, guys, and now there is the last one, and I'm hoping that we're gonna get some acoustic guitar mellow song as well, but we'll see. Hozier, Through Me the Flood. Soul, oh my god. Not as in a genre, I mean also that, but the soul in that melody.
Seen like a speck out from the shore, swimming out beyond the breakers, like he's done his life before. He feels the coming of a squall, will drag him out a greater lake, but knows his strength. He tries to gather it, and he swims on, turning back to shore again, above the outer atmosphere of a world he's never seen, and looking down to his new home, he feels the rising of a wave and knows at once he will not weather it like that man. I looked down into the depths when I met you, I couldn't measure it. Anytime I struggle against the course, but on my own, every
nice.
time I burn through the world, I see that the world, it burns through me.
There is a very nice bouncing trying to understand what that sound is on the background, just bouncing right to left. It's like a buzzing bass. But the actual clean bass, it's amazing, guys. Oh.
Picture a grave, picture 6 feet freshly dug.
Space.
The sharp temporary
Space again,
walk,
guys.
the long-term cliff edge of the world. Laid in there, find some new deepness there.
Acoustic guitar to the left,
In the sky,
reverb.
one stands by, tries to make sense of it. But try and measure loss, measure the silence of a house, the unheard footsteps at the doorway, the unemployment of the mouth, the waking up having forgotten and remembering again the full extent of what forever is. With each grave, I think of loss and I can only think of you. I couldn't measure it. Anytime I struggle on,
I love the transition into the chorus, guys. It's so good.
every time I burn through the world, I see that the world, it burns through me. But when I let go,
Nice.
struggling for, I will let so. Every time I flow through the world, I see that the world, it flows from me. Let the
Some percussions as well.
it flows from me.
Ah, so good. Guys, I think we have a winner. I think this is probably my favorite. At a first listen, this one has to be my favorite of the three. Such a cool song. So many cool sounds as well. It's not what I was expecting, but I absolutely love the way that it opens up on the chorus, especially. And the production, I do want to spend a few words on that because, first of all, the way that the organ on the background creates that vibe. I'm a huge fan of using the organ for setting us a specific mood. And that's exactly the case here. There is no other instrument, I think. Maybe in some specific occasion there are like some keyboards and synths that can emulate that, like a mellotron, for example. But the organ there is nothing like it. There is nothing like it. It can just create a very specific mood. I don't know if it's subconscious. Maybe there is something that has to do with the church and the organ and hearing that, associating maybe the two things. I don't know. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's just the way that it sounds, but it creates such a not mysterious but almost mystic vibe, in my opinion, and I absolutely love that. So at the beginning, starting with those chords and the progression and adding the voice, then slowly bringing in the guitar up and to the left with the reverb, again working with space. The bass sounded amazing. It sounds so good, such a good riff, and so clear as well. And the drums as well, the kick, it's so probably sidechained. For those of you guys that don't know, sidechain basically means that when there is a certain signal, so let's say for example there is a kick drum, you think of the whole frequency of the song. So imagine it like it goes from 0 to 2000, for example. The kick will be somewhere around 600, 800, 900. There are other instruments that just compete for the same frequencies, which is normal. It's like my voice, for example, if I play a piano in the mid-range of the piano, it's kind of in the same frequencies because different sounds, of course, have a different quality, a different timbre to them, but they share the same frequencies. So when you sidechain a signal, for example, it means that when there is a frequency that goes up, like for example there is a kick drum that hits, you sidechain it with the bass guitar. So when the kick drum goes up, the bass goes down, basically at the same time. It's like they go poop. We don't really notice it as listeners because it's a very quick adjustment. It's a micro adjustment in the bass as well, so you don't feel the dip in volume, but it just allows the sound of the kick drum to just come through. I love the way that they play with the melody, going to a very major and uplifting melody, but for a very short time, and then changing it back to a more moody and minor scale. Absolutely beautiful. And I also think that the lyrics, again, as I said before, it's hard for me to just focus on the lyrics at the first listen, but from what I've seen and what I've read, this might actually be also my favorite one of the three, lyrics wise, thematically wise. There is just some very cool wording and lyricism that goes on. Again, I cannot wait to go back and listen to it and actually dive a bit deeper into the lyrics as well. Overall, I have to say, guys, I'm always happy when this guy has new music out. It's not entirely what I was expecting, both in a very good way and in a I still miss that song, like that type of songs like, I don't know, Would That I, despite the fact that of course the chorus a much more bombastic sound, but Cherry Wine, Like Real People Do, all those songs are usually my favorites from Hozier, because that's also where he usually experiments a bit more with the lyrics. He just strips it down, he keeps the vocal melody in line with the melody that he's playing on the guitar. I think it's just beautiful and it works so well. So we didn't get one of those songs, which I was hoping for, but we got a lot of cool stuff. R&B influences, gospel influences even. Of course, the folk, the pop, and the blues elements that are always there. I'm happy, guys. Honestly, I think that is one of those musicians that got a lot of success, but he deserves 100% out of it. It's just he added something to the music scene that, at least to the mainstream music scene, that wasn't there as much, and I'm very grateful to him for that. And also, of course, for some of you guys know, I lived in Ireland for 4 years. Him and Fountains DC, I think, are the two artists out of Ireland that I think are really making the heritage of, the Irish music proud. They're just coming up with so much great music. Music that it still makes you want to create yourself. That's what I mean. It's like you can see that you can still do something fresh, like something with a new perspective and new take, even if it's not a brand new genre or anything like that, because it's not, but there is a certain energy and a certain edge in the lyrics, in the music, and this is true both for Fountains DC and Hozier, but there is something that makes you go, yeah, okay, like it's definitely still worth doing this, even in a world that will probably be controlled by AI created and generated music. I hope not, that's my worst fear, but I think that us as humans and as artists, whatever your art form is, and it doesn't need to be music or visual art, we need to create something we have that need. We feel like we want to add a certain type of value, I guess, to our existences by creating something. So I know that this is going a bit more philosophical and a bit outside of the scope of an Hozier reaction review. But yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is that despite the progresses in AI and all of that, and computers that will generate music so that social platform medias, I guess, can stop paying royalties to artists and record labels, because like I said, that's what it really comes down to. People will still create music, and when something is genuine and there is an actual effort behind it, I think that people will still be able to tell the difference between something that was created by a computer just analyzing what are the trends in pop music, and something that has an actual meaning behind it and an actual feeling behind it. That's what I hope, at least. Anyway, guys, sorry for the philosophical segue, but if you guys know me, I guess that you're somewhat used to that. Again, this was beautiful. I'm very happy. I'm really looking forward to go back and listen to it again and picking up more details. Extremely excited to hear what he has coming up. In case you're curious and if you're wondering who this guy is, I do also have my own music, of course, coming up in the next few months. All the links are down below if you want to pre-save it, if you want to listen to stuff, if you want to go on social media, aka Alexander King. Guys, I always appreciate the support. The part that I love the most, that I enjoy the most, honestly, it's just engaging with you guys in the comments. So let me know what you think, if you made it this far. And if you made it this far, I mean, fair play to you, because I don't know how long this video is, but I think it's going to be pretty long, considering the amount of blabbing that I always do in this sort of videos. But yeah, guys, any support is much appreciated. Just make sure to go down in the comments and say hi, so we can start a conversation, as always. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you at the next one. Bye.